What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of EdgeWorks Studios. Got one for you today with some stuff. I got this. I think Friday. Yeah, Friday. I actually had kind of forgotten that I'd ordered it, but this is another one of those TOSA knives. You know, we were talking about these inexpensive ones here. Like that Santoku and stuff that I've been working on and showing you the polishing differences on and whatnot. But this is a slightly more expensive one, and the reason it's more expensive is I do believe there was more attention to detail that went into this one. It's also made of Aogami Super, and I promise you I'm not like some ultra Santoku fan, but this one's also a Santoku. It's 165 millimeter. I'll show you a close-up in the GoPro. Let me kill this little light back here. It always adds a little background glare. Anyway, super cool Aogami Super Santoku. Like I said, TOSA knives again. The same thing like we've been working with. A little fancier packaging. The others were kind of that bland, just regular green box or whatever. But before we get into that, I'll show you a couple other things. I'm going to be sharpening this on my Chosera 1000 grit, which I haven't had before. So I've always had the 400, and I'm not an overly Naniwa guy. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Naniwa. I never had the 1000 grit Naniwa. So I'm going to try it today. I got this stone from Chef's Edge out of Australia. I'll drop a link down if anybody's interested in it. But that was, they had a sale going on for, I think it was Father's Day or something, and they had, I got that, the Morhe 6000, and one of those coarse Sabatoru rust erasers, just because it kind of helped round out some shipping, I guess. But then I realized, wait a minute, if you look at their on their map, right, it had WA, and for some reason I don't know why, but that meant Washington to me, which is it's ignorant. Yes, but clearly my brain wasn't working. So I was like, oh, cool. I looked at shipping. I'm like, $20, you know. Then I realized that's Western Australia. So yeah, that was just a total dumb moment. Brain was not working. But I don't know if you guys ever shopped from there before, but they have some pretty good deals, and they have some pretty good selection of things, including knives. So that's Chef's Edge out of Australia. But yeah, so I got this Chosera. We'll see. I've used it just to kind of do a little polishing on those other TOSA knives. This is my quest to find a very good, inexpensive knife. But you know, it's like still carbon steel. So just like I've been looking for the perfect or a really good, at least, inexpensive Japanese whetstone. I'm doing the same thing with knives. You know, we found the Altstone Fukami, amazing things. You know, $24 for a 1000 grit. These knives here, like we were talking about, paid $29 and $30 or $31 for these, which I want to show you what I did to this guy. I'm also going to put up some choil shots just so you can see what I was talking about with how thin I got these things when I thinned them out and how even they are. These things are lasers. But real quick, I want to show you what I did. So I like to work, you know, do some woodworking and stuff. So I decided to do two different types of finishes for these handles. They're just, you know, cheapo handles. This one is 100% tung oil. So it's a tung oil finish. Now, for those of you that don't know, tung oil will get in there into the pores, and it hardens. But it's like a smooth kind of harden. So that's going to kind of prevent like water damage and things like that. The bad thing is tung oil takes an eternity to dry. You can use it within a couple of days, maybe even a few, like 24 hours of applying the finish, but it doesn't fully cure, which means fully harden, for like 30 days. Now that can depend, of course, on your level of humidity and the temperature and things like that, but that's roughly the ideal time. Still, it's worth it. I've always loved a tongue oil finish. It's just something I've always enjoyed. Now, this one is done, and it's a little darker, as you can see. This one I did with boiled linseed oil. It's also a hardening oil. You can do that one a little easier though. You can use what's called Japan dryer. And first time I saw that, I thought it meant actually Japan, you know, something from Japan. But it's actually a technique called Japanning, which I'd never heard of before. But anyway, you apply Japan dryer, or you mix Japan dryer in with the boiled linseed oil, and it makes this stuff dry faster. Otherwise, this also has a very similar dry time, but it's pretty cool. So it just kind of gives them a little bit of life, I guess. But I also wanted to show you this. So I was messing around with the finish and polishing this bevel up. And you can see there, I really contrasted and brightened up the Kasumi. So it's still frosty, so to speak. But as you can see, it's defined the line between the core steel and the cladding there. And I did that with that, it's funny because I first went back and I tried it on this 1000 after doing the 400 Chosera and then this 1000. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm going to do this over. And I followed the Morihei progression. So I went to the Morihei 500, the Morihei 1000, the Morihei 4000. I stopped at the 4000 with the synthetics. And then I went to the naturals. So the first thing I hit it with was my, what is it, the Nakayama. It's over there. But my Nakayama stone, which is this guy. This little dude. So I hit it on this with its own slurry first. And then I was trying different things. So I tried my Chunugura, and I tried my my Tomonagura. And it did okay, but it wasn't giving me exactly what I wanted. So I'm like, all right, I'll try something else here. So I did. I grabbed my Suita, or my Awasido actually. Then I grabbed the Suita. Where'd you go here? Well, I don't know where I put that. It must be drying still. Anyway, so I grabbed that, but I ended up doing the Uchigomori. The Uchigomori at the end is what gave it that nice frosty finish. And I realized, because I'd done that with you guys before, and I was kind of getting the result that I wanted. But what I didn't realize is, in order for the Uchigomori to give it that kind of definition and that contrast that it gave that I was looking for, you need to make certain, and I know that with polishing, the purpose of polishing is to remove all the scratches, right? You do a progression, and you're going to different, different scratch removal levels. What I didn't do though is I used various different synthetics first, and I wasn't 100% certain that I'd remove the prior scratches. So by using the Morihei progression and using what they called their intended progression, I was able to get all those scratches out, and that was the result. So long-winded story, but just to tell you what I did to get through to that. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to probably wreck that finish and do something else with it, because it's my experimental piece. But anyway, it was just a lot of fun. It's a learning process. I've done polishing before, but I've not done a lot with the Kasumi brightening and contrasting. I've done it where it's just kind of stayed cloudy and kind of not scratchy necessarily, but somewhat. Anyway, so that was just something that was a little different, something that I needed to find my own way to, I guess. And it could be different for another knife. It just depends on the knife, I guess, as well. So, anyway, a lot of windage coming out of there. Reminder that we are doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So let's make certain that you leave a comment and, of course, are a subscriber to the channel. That's going to run for 3 weeks. So 2 weeks from Wednesday is when we're going to announce the giveaway. There's going to be, like I said, several winners. So we've got a couple of Whetstones we're going to do. We're going to do a carbon steel knife. I'm trying to see if this one's going to be worthy enough. This was, by the way, I'll show you in the GoPro. This is the TOSA Aogami Super. And believe it or not, it's still a little costly, okay? But if you look at the finish on this thing's finished really well, especially considering that they're supposedly the inexpensive. But whenever you hear the price, you'll realize it's not like the super cheapest thing in the world. It's not 30 bucks, but this is obviously, I guess, meant, well, I don't know why they do that. This handle is just to make sure it's right-handed, I guess. I don't know. It's got this little indentation thing here, which is weird, but I've felt that before on my Choseras. Anyway, it's a cool knife. It was 70 bucks, so that's not that bad. I mean, considering all things considered, right? So it's a handmade, hand-forged knife. So I've been looking at different things too, and these TOSA knives, they come out of the TOSA area, and I've looked at some Hatsukukoros, and they come out of that area too. Not the Kuragani, that comes out of, I think, Seki. But some of the Hatsukukoros come out of there, so I'm willing to bet these are some of the same smiths. But yeah, if this turns out to be a decent knife, like, this will be one of the ones for the giveaway. I'm also going to give away some of the board and knife wax like we talked about. And I'm going to give away a few other things. I may give away a set of these, the Ruxin stones, and just some other stuff. I may give away a natural stone. So just make sure that you comment on the videos and that you are a subscriber to the channel. That's it. And that'll get your name in the hat. So without me blabbing too much more, let's go ahead and get to sharpening this bad boy. I have not done anything with this. I've done a paper cut test. It had a burr. It wasn't the sharpest thing. Like, it caught quite a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're just going to give it the 1,000 treatment and see what we can do with it. Sorry for all the blabbing, guys. I just had a lot to say and wanted to make sure I got it out there to you. Oh, this is one other quick thing too. I'll do an update on this kind of stuff. So I've been working on some knives. This is one that's not done yet, and I still need to thin it out a little bit and heat treat it. But this is one of the knives that I was working on. So she's looking pretty good, pretty good. That's a huge tang, by the way. So I'm gonna hammer that down and reduce that. But I'm gonna try and make a couple of these. Maybe I can get this one made in time for the giveaway and give one of those away as well, if anyone would be interested in that. So, all right, let's do this. How's everybody's weekend been? I hope it's been good. So this is my first use. Well, first use sharpening, I should say. Listen to it there. Okay, so clearly it's a cutter. I mean, we can see that, right? honestly, using it to kind of polish like I did, you're going to get a little different result, you know, and feel and stuff than you would if you're sharpening. So my take on this, my very first opinion of it, in this manner, is it's very, very smooth. Now, I didn't expect it to be like that. I kind of expected something a little rougher, maybe. Again, trying to compare it to my King 1000s and things like that. But it's super glidey, I guess. Maybe not even velvety, but like kind of glassy. That was not what I was expecting. You know, running my fingers over it's pretty catchy. So that's kind of in line with a lot of the others I've done. But yeah, just running it over the top, you could clearly see that it was taking metal off, and listening to it was very, very quiet. But yeah, I've got a burr. Oh, I did run my HRC tester files. If anybody's ever seen those before, I'll show them to you. Instead of trying to just explain them to death again. It's these guys here. These aren't the most accurate thing in the world, but they work. So you got a set of files here. You got, you know, this one says HRC 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. And it shows you here that if you can scratch it with the 40, you know, it's around 40, 42, or if it skates, I'm sorry. It's around 40 to 42. This 40, 45, or sorry, 45 to 47 is the 45, etc., etc., etc. So I was able to use skated the 60, but the 65 gave it a little kind of a cut. So it's between 62 and 64, so it's probably a 63 is what I would guess. And again, not an accurate reading. It's a guess based on the response from those files. So, but yeah, I mean, this is cutting it just fine. Not that I expected it not to, I should say, but it does have a little grab. Yeah, you can kind of hear. Yeah, I just kind of expected it to be a little chalkier, kind of like the 400, you know? The 400 reminds me, as I've said before, kind of like the King, and how it's kind of chalky, but this is not like that. The good news is I didn't check, which I should have. I did not check to see if the knife was bent in any way, even slightly, and I can tell you that it is not, because I'm getting full sharpen from tip to heel. So take a look here. Man, it is really thin, and again, you're not going to be able to really see it in the GoPro. I'll pop up a choil shot for this one too. I hate trying to do that in the camera. It's always backwards, but whatever. Anyway, it's a fairly thin choil shot. I'll just show you. I'll just pop up the picture. Yeah, like for the price, I mean, this is a great knife. I'm gonna give it some long passes here, and then we'll flip to the other side and we'll take a look at her. And this is the quietest 1000 grit I think I've ever had. Yeah, that's a great burr. I mean, okay, I guess we're gonna go ahead and flip it and dip it. Rip it and dip it. So yesterday, As I'd mentioned, I reshot my Rooks and Zarlik video and all that stuff. I'll take a look while I'm talking to you guys here. I feel much better about that. Man, I hate it whenever I have audio issues. In fact, I'm saying that I'm going to have to look and see right now if my audio... Okay, good. I did remember to charge it, so that's always a plus. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring up the Shaw. Now, I did see pieces of the burr laying on the side there, which makes me wonder if this is a little chippy. It's not really an indicator, but... In all fairness, by the way, I did indeed lap this stone because I did use it for polishing. And with polishing, I tend to use more pressure, and sometimes I have a focal point in various points of the stone, so I didn't want to dish it. But I did lap it with my 140 grit there, diamond plate. All right, we got burr flippage. Make sure we don't have anything lingering here. Who's got 4th of July plans? Like, what do y'all do? Where I live, fireworks are illegal. It's because our state is, it doesn't believe in fun. It just believes in lining politicians' pockets. So, but yeah, what are you guys going to... I mean, we do it anyway. But this year, apparently, our county has decided to start fining people. Because for as long as I can remember, you could just go over to the next state, Missouri, or Indiana, and you could just buy fireworks. You go home, you'd shoot them off. Nobody said anything. Like, police officers would even do it, with their families. No big deal. No, not this year. This year, they have literally said anyone caught is getting fined and all kinds of crap. So, who knows? If you guys don't hear from me, it's because I got caught. Nah, I'm not going to get caught. But anyway, so yeah, what do you guys do? I'm going to barbecue, probably smoke a brisket. It's one of my favorite things to do. Maybe some ribs. Man, that'd be really good, wouldn't it? Brisket and ribs and good times. Man, it's not like the old days where I would get out the brisket, and the way I knew the brisket was done is whenever I drank a 30-pack of Coors Light. Those days are gone. If I did that, I wouldn't be able to go to work for like a week. Okay. I'm thinking that this burr might be breaking off a little bit here. I'm going to double check something. I'm going to look at it in just a second. Yep. It's breaking off as I'm going. That's interesting. Well, the show must go on. I don't know what that's a sign of, but let me just look here. I'm going to look again real quick and just make sure everything looks good, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that thing looks great. That doesn't make any sense. It could be a burned edge, too, thinking about it, because I don't know how they sharpen these TOSA knives. I don't know if they're like, on a belt or whatever. But yeah, if it's a burned edge, you know, whenever you do your first sharpening, you're going to get rid of that, as long as it's just the edge and not, you know, the whole core steel. But I don't know, a burned edge is kind of it's a long shot here. So I'm just going to go ahead and deburr it. So I'm going to do edge leading strokes here with a little pushback. It's one of those things I told you guys I've been doing. I'm getting great results from it. I'm not the first to do it. I found that it works really well for me. No pressure, just basically the pressure of the knife itself. And my fingers are on there for a guide. So they're probably adding, obviously, some pressure. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm really excited about this drawing for you. You know, I mean, I love doing it too, so it's exciting for me. I can't wait to give some stuff away. I've got so many things that I'm going to surprise people with too. So I'm not just going to like out and tell you every single thing. Some of these things are going to have little surprises in them. Surprise smallpox. I'm kidding, by the way. I shouldn't even say that. I should probably like edit that out maybe. Super light. Alright, let's double check. I mean, I'm pretty sure I won't have a burr because it's been like falling off. Take my glasses off here. I'll bring ends up here with me. I'm going to take another look just to see. Alright, so that looks good. And that looks good. I mean, that looks perfect. Like, I'm not just trying to brag on myself here, but it does. It looks really perfect. By perfect, I mean the scratch pattern, the edge. So it looks pretty uniform on both sides here. Just gonna double check a few, well, I'm gonna double check the length of the knife here. Okay. I mean, I guess we're gonna find out, aren't we? This is the moment of truth. Put my money where my mouth is. All right, let's grab our little piece of paper. Let's listen to how clean it sounds, or if it catches, maybe, we'll see. I mean, that's a sharp mama jama. Okay, little poosh. Yeah. Go to the middle. Yeah, let's go with the tip. So, I'd say she's pretty sharp. Oopsie. Yeah, I mean, okay, paper towel. Let's go ahead and grab that. I just need to find a way to get the paper towel in front of the camera instead of just keep doing this. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, so it did cut that, but it was a little funky. I had a little tearage at the midway point, but it did do it. So let's see if we can do it free hanging. Not that way. Not that way. I did there, so that's good. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's hurting my soul. That little tear. I kind of got the back corner there. But yeah, I mean, it cut paper towel. Even free hanging. It didn't like slice all the way through. Okay. Had to come back real quick. I took my leather strop, because I didn't strop that knife at all. And this is just my snake's eye tactical, or snake eye tactical, whatever it is. It's just this is treated with neat's foot oil, and that's it. Just a plain smooth side and a suede side, right? I did about 4 or 5 strokes on the back, 4 or 5 strokes on the front. And here, just a couple more, just because. All right. No diamond emulsion on it or nothing. It's just my plain Jane main vein. So, yeah, she bad to the bone, yo. Yeah, I mean, this knife, and again, it's not like it was 30 bucks, but honestly, for Aogami Super, and like I said, I tested roughly 63 HRC, so it's probably anywhere from 62 to 63. The finish is great. The handle, I don't know what kind of handle it is, but it's a nice looking handle. This weird indentation, or not indentation, but this weird raised spot. I don't know. Like I said, I think that indicates maybe it's right-handed. Let me show you. I got another one that does just that. But I mean, 70 bucks for all that. You can't beat that. So it's kind of a D-shaped, I guess. And my Chosera Santoku has that. You can kind of see the line right there where my finger is. It goes all the way down. Same thing here. This is just way exaggerated. So I guess that's a D-shaped handle. I don't know, but that's my Shirogami Chosera. Yeah. I'm not gonna complain. 70 bucks. You can't. I mean, you guys remember what I got for 90, 89, or whatever for that bunka from Hatsukokoro. So this is pretty good. It took it about 6-7 days to get here from Japan. When you order from Amazon Japan, they ship these ECMS, I think is what it's called. Anyway, well, this one came eventually by postal mail, but typically it's dropped off by FedEx. So anyway, take it as you will. It's a very good knife in my opinion. I would be glad to use that in my kitchen, without issue. Maybe I'll give that one away and get myself another one. Maybe I'll keep that one, order another one. Also, let me know too, guys, if you want me to sharpen those knives that I'm giving away. It's up to you. If you want to sharpen them, or I could put an edge on them for you. If I do put an edge on them, though, I will take them up probably to 6,000 grit, unless you have a request otherwise. And I'll make certain that they're like, we take our, not just like a super quick thing. I'll take my time with it and put a good edge on it and stuff. So anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It's the weekend. It's coming to a close. So that's unfortunate. Got to go back to work, but that means I get to see you guys on Wednesday. I'll probably do a pop-up giveaway, probably on Wednesday or something. Whenever I get this Rookson video up, I will also do another giveaway that's in addition to the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I got a little something special for that one. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys have made this what it is. Again, I cannot express my thanks to you enough. We're over 1,000 and we're on our way up. Let's get it to 2,000. Let's get up there. Anyway, I see you guys on Wednesday. Have a good week. Have a good day at work tomorrow. All those of you going to work. Until then, peace.